Mark Murphy from the Herald. Just wanted to ask you, when you see the improvement in the way that Paul and Ray are moving, I mean, I don't want you to try and be a doctor here, but how much of this is that they've just learned to manage their injuries and that they've just learned to tolerate what they've got?
Yeah, I would say it's probably 100% of that. Especially in Ray's case. I think Paul has improved. It's still no different. He still has a sprained MCL, but I do think he's had some improvement. He feels better. It's not as much pain. I think in Ray's case, it's more that he's just kind of resigned the fact that this is what he has to play with, and he's kind of figured out, how to move and cut on it. He's, clearly feels that, certain cuts hurt him. We've kind of taken him away from those cuts, and he's been very, he's communicated all the things that he can't do and can do, and it's been very helpful.
You had mentioned that, his landing on his jump shot was all over the place. I mean, have you noticed improvement in that?
Yeah, I think his balance is better. There's no doubt. I think he's back to getting it off quick again, where I thought for, at least in the Philly series especially, he just, Ray is known for his quick release. It took so long to get it off. And to me, that's speaking of something's not right.
Hey, Doc, Chris Thomas in Fox Sports. There's been a lot of speculation that Chris Bosh could return tomorrow. Are you preparing for tomorrow as if you'll see Chris Bosh?
Yeah, we have every game. So, we don't have to do anything different. We've prepared every game like Bosh is going to play, and eventually he will, and it may be tomorrow.
Hey, Doc, this is Sherrod Blakely. Just piggybacking off of that, you have had players throughout the season who have had injuries and have been able to come back. What's the biggest challenge reintegrating a key core guy of your team back on the floor when they've been out for a while?
Well, it hasn't been that long. I think it's more challenging when you've been out a long time. For the player, you just want him to just be him. I think a lot of players have come back, and even with us this year at times, it's happened as well, especially if your team's playing well. You don't want to kind of get in the way, but as a coach, you do want him to get in the way. You want him to play the way he plays. You don't want him to play differently, and I'm sure that's what they'll do with Chris tomorrow night.
How different do you think it'll be for Kevin to have Chris out there as opposed to Joel, Udonis, and those other guys?
Oh, I don't know how much different it'll be. I think Kevin's going to try to post up whoever they throw out there, and we're going to try to post him up. So it's just another body. Chris is obviously very talented and poses his own problems, but I don't think Kevin is going to be that concerned with whoever's there. He's going to try to play against.
Doc, Bill Doyle from the Worcester Telegram. Did KG have the same or similar injury as Chris Bosh, and what was he like when he first came back?
I don't think it was the same injury, Bill. So I'm not, so I can't say. I think they were different injuries. I think. I actually couldn't even tell you exactly what Chris Bosh's injury is. I thought it was stomach related.
A strained abdominal muscle.
Yeah, so I don't know, Bill. I really don't. How I am with injuries. I pay very little attention to it.
Well, what was KG back? What was he like when he came back from the injury he did have? Did it take
it just took him some time rhythm-wise, but I thought Kevin pretty much jumped right back in, especially defensively. I didn't think he missed a beat there. I thought offensively it took him time to feel comfortable in some of the things he does, but I didn't think he missed a beat on defense.
Hey, Doc, Kevin Massoff with USA Today. Throughout the season, a lot of people wrote off your team, saying the window had shut. Why have you maintained an undying faith in this team?
Well, because I see them every day in practice and every day together. I look at this team and last year's team. And last year's team, we would have been out of the playoffs already.
Mm-hmm.
We just wasn't the same. We wasn't a team. This team is very close. They're very competitive. I think they've they understand, Rondo's the leader of the team. Everybody else plays with Rondo. Kevin is still a great player. Paul is still our best scorer. They've kind of gotten out of each other's way with roles. And then I think all the new guys have added a great competitive energy to our basketball they kept looking at our team, and they kept saying, we're too old, and I kept saying, no, we're out of shape, and let's find out how good we are later. And I didn't know either, honestly. I just know sometimes as a coach you have a feel about a team, and I don't know how good this team is. I've said that, but I know it's a team, and we can play with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
This is Ben Watanabe from Netson.com. Obviously, Paul has spent the bulk of the time guarding LeBron, but how important has it been defensively to kind of throw different looks at him with guys like Marquise Daniels and Petrus and that?
It's been huge for us. And Paul has guarded him almost too much at times. That's why Paul fouled out 2 of the 4 games. And that's too much for us. But the other looks have been helpful, especially Petrus. I think he's done a terrific job overall. Guarding LeBron is hard. He comes at you in so many ways. I mean, he drives, he posts, he sets up everybody else, he shoots in between the jump shot, he makes a big 3, he rebounds. It's just so many ways, and it's so difficult to stop him. So I think you have to have 2 and 3 different looks in order to try to slow him down.
Hey, Doc, Harvey Fialka, Sun Sentinel. You just hit on it. Paul Pierce has fouled out 3 out of the last 5 games. Obviously, he's a tenacious, but you need him on the court offensively. How has he tested you as a coach? Also, would you tell him to maybe tone it down a little, maybe try not to draw as many offensives?
Yeah, I definitely will. It's a test. I mean, obviously, listen, we're going to take Paul off the floor at times in games. We're just not going to take him off the floor to end games. And we've had 3 games, a game 7 and 2 already in the series, where he's not been on the floor down the stretch. And it obviously puts a huge strain on our defense. So we need him on the floor, and we have to keep him on the floor for us to win this series.
Hey, Doc, it's Tim Reynolds with the AP. Your guys, this core of guys, they've been through so many Game 5s, and we hear all the same stuff, the pivotal game, the swing game, the crucial game, and all that. Because you guys have been through so many of them, does that almost take some of the edge off a little bit where things might not get so overstated about what the importance of tomorrow night is?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're all big, and everybody internalizes it differently. Honestly, I would love to tell you that I know our guys will be comfortable and everything, but you just don't know. Each game is individual. It always will be. Each game 5, each game 6, each game 7, each game 1. They're all different, and I think our guys being together, it helps them when things are going wrong or good to kind of, turn it around or get it going because they know it's a long haul. They know the game's a long game. And I think that may help them. But, other than that, I don't know if there's anything else that can help you. You just got to go in and experience it each time.
Hey, Doc. John Corrales, RedsArmy.com. Back to Chris Bosh. What about him on the offensive end? How does he help them? Does he play a big role in trying to spring Dwayne Wade? You guys have pretty much
he helps because all the trapping we're doing is more difficult when Bosh is on the floor because he stretches the floor. I mean, that's his value offensively is he's a great shooter, and he really stretches the floor. He's long. So, where we can close out on Battier and get a hand on the ball or get a fingertip on the ball, as we say, and do the same to Haslam. Bosh is a little taller. We can't get fingertips on the ball when he gets it, and he gets 3 shots off. So that will make it difficult. There's no doubt.
Hey, Doc. Pascal Dernier from Basket News. Do you find yourself, after having a coaching Kevin Garnett, still being surprised by what he can do on defense?
I don't. I really don't. I mean, maybe I should, but I don't. I expect a lot from all our guys, and maybe that's why I'm never surprised when they do what you really need them to do. I do think he's overlooked so much defensively because I think the only time you really watch his defense is when he's on the ball or rotating. But the talking, the orchestration of our D on the floor, it's so important to have a guy like Kevin, and I think that gets overlooked a lot. He's the best that I've ever seen.
Hey, Doc. Kevin Massoff with USA Today again. Maybe some controversial calls last night. What's your take on the officiating up until this point in the series?
I think it's a hard game. I said that after Game 1 and Game 2, Game 3 and Game 4. It's a physical series. Miami, we're physical. Miami is athletic and physical. I honestly thought the calls down the stretch of that game, they could have gone either way. There could have been no calls. It could have went one way. It's just watching it on tape. I was like, wow, those are tough calls. And the team that gets one, the other team doesn't like, and I think that's just the way it is. I complain as much as anybody, but overall, I do understand it's a brutal job. And this series, in particularly, it's a brutal job to referee this series.
Hey, Doc. Jimmy Cascana from the Boston Metro. No time for steam Connor Hollins last night. Just wondering what went into that decision, and how does Chris Bosh's potential return affect that mindset going forward?
Well, one of them will play more because they'll stay big. The fact that we've had success with our small lineup will probably change with Bosh playing. I mean, they won't go as small, and so that'll change the way we have to play.
Doc, this is Ben Watanabe again from Boston.com. Wade's had his struggle shooting, but do you still see him having an impact defensively?
Yeah, I mean Wade's terrific. Listen, he's going to keep attacking. He's been better in second halves, and so we have to find a way of slowing him down in the second half offensively. But defensively, he's so disruptive. He's been able to guard Rondo, been able to guard Ray, guard Paul at times. That's what makes him and LeBron so good, where they can guard multiple positions. LeBron in this series has now guarded the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The only guy he hasn't guarded is me. He's guarding everybody, and it's pretty impressive.
Hey, Doc, John Corrales from RedsArmy.com again. In the second half last night, everything kind of stalled again, and it seemed like what do you think the biggest factor was? Was there the doubling on Rajon? What was the biggest factor in the stall? Why did everything kind of fall apart in the third?
The beginning of the third quarter started out great, except for we didn't make shots. But what I didn't like was the beginning of the third quarter, we took quick contested jump shots. We turned the ball over, and I thought we were sloppy in our transition. And then I thought it activated Miami. And then once they got into us, their defensive pressure took us out of the game. I thought their denials on the wings, couldn't catch the ball in the right spot. They trapped everywhere. I just thought they were far more aggressive than us, and they put us back on our heels, and we can't allow that to happen.
Coach Alvaro Martino of ESPN Deportes. Alvaro Martino of ESPN Deportes. At the end of Game 2, KG had some favorable matchups at or near the paint that he really didn't take advantage of, and then we saw in Game 3, a completely different KG. Again, at the end of Game 4 last night, it was my impression that he had some matchups and some shots that could have been a bit more aggressive. You share that?
He had a couple. He missed one right at the rim, if you remember, and then he made one. Actually, he missed them both. Then three more he had, and he elected to pass. And those are the ones we want him to be more offensive-minded. He's such a pass-first player, no matter how great he is offensively. We got to keep him in that being a scorer's mentality. It's tough for him, but that's what we got to keep him in that role. It's important for us to win.
Hey, Doc. Jacob Noble from the Pro Basketball Talk. Talk to me a little bit about the last play. It appears that you guys switched with Marquise going on Dwayne Wade, and then he didn't attempt to block the shot after the shot fake. Was that something you guys discussed in the huddle not to foul?
Well, we told him to stay down, and if you do get pump fake, jump sideways, because, Dwayne is as good as Paul and LeBron, I think those three guys, of drawing the foul up in the air. And we didn't want to give a guy free throws, especially 3 free throws, to end the game. So Marquise did the right thing. Obviously, he did the wrong thing by leaving his feet. What we thought was Marquise switch with length, make him shoot over. We thought what they would look for is an in-between jump shot for Dwayne Wade. And we thought the longest guy that we could put on him, the better.
Doc, Chris Thomason again. As the minutes build up on players in this series, 2 overtime games playing every other day, Do you think it hampers you more because you guys are a little bit older, or possibly them more because they rely so much on two guys, and one of them, Dwayne Wade, just played 51 minutes, the most he's ever played in a playoff game?
Well, I don't think it hampers them. I don't think it hampers us. I think the only guy I worry about is Kevin. Other than that, Rondo, Dwayne, and LeBron, they can play forever. They really can. I really believe that. So I would say just really Kevin is the only guy I'm ever concerned with. First thing I looked at after the game is obviously we won, so I knew that. I went right to Kevin's minutes, and I turned right to my coaches and said, I don't like this. This is twice now in this series. It's too many. Obviously, it's tough to avoid in the overtime. But I just know that that's a lot of minutes. That's twice now in 4 games in 8 days, and that's just a lot of minutes for him.
Doc, I know Paul Newberry with Associated Press. I know a lot has been made of, kind of the last hurrah sort of factor, how much that's motivating Kevin and Paul and Ray. Do you spot any more of that or any more sense of urgency? I mean, there always is at this time of year, obviously, but when the 6 wins away from a championship, that's driving them even more.
I don't see it. I just think they're playing hard and great because they believe they can win. And I'm sure with them that's got to be a factor. But I can tell you it's nothing we talk about. We really don't. We talk about winning this series and then moving on. And that's all we really talk about. So I think maybe because it's discussed so much anyway, but I don't ever use it. I don't think I've used it this year one time. I figure guys like that drive themselves anyway. They don't need it.
Jimmy Castano again. I'm wondering if you heard Rondo's comments to Dorsberg at halftime on needing transition because they're crying and complaining. I'm wondering if you care this, a player or him in particular said something like that. And also, did you guys actually notice that watching the film?
I didn't hear the last part.
Did you guys actually notice that happening while you were watching film, that they were complaining?
Well, we watch a lot of film. I'll just stop there. And, other than that, I don't make comments on that. I mean, Rondo is very emotional, and we like him to be intense. So, obviously, if that motivates anybody else, then that motivates anybody else. If you need motivation at this point, then something wrong anyway. So, but as far as what he said, I'll leave that alone. I'll just leave it there.
Hey, Doc, Jacob again. Let's talk basketball talk.
Okay.
Any update on Avery Bradley as to if he's going to be playing in the rest of these playoffs?
No.
And if not, and how come no surgery hasn't been scheduled for him? Is it just something we're waiting on?
Oh, he's already had surgery.
Hey, Doc, speaking of Avery Bradley, it seems like Daniels and Petrus, their length is really bothered Wade in the first half. Can you talk about their D on Wade and their length?
Yeah, they've been terrific. I mean, he's so explosive, and he's going to get shots. We know that. But we're hoping that the shots are over longer people. We tell our guys, don't foul them, make them make shots, but make them make shots over extended arms. And the fact that Keith and MP have a height advantage, we're hoping that plays into our favor.
Coach
Thank you,
Alvaro
guys.
Martin.
Appreciate it.
Hi, Coach.
All right, take care.
Thanks, Doc.
Hi, Coach.
The chair